I'm a really practical learner, so I prefer learning with equipment and like playing around with stuff rather than just memorizing and rote learning from a textbook. I really enjoy being able to be in the lab and getting help from the lab demonstrators and the tutors and whatnot, teaching me how things work. And in a very practical sense, you can almost see what's happening and what the physics is, rather than just being like, oh yeah, it's this concept that just exists. Hi, my name's Shevaani. I'm studying a Bachelor of Electrical Engineering and a Bachelor of Advanced Physics.
I study physics, I think, because I really want to understand how the world operates, like get into the detail of what makes the world happen. So, you know, whether it's the Earth spinning or a tiny little device working, that's what I'm really interested in finding out. My name's Lachie. I study aerospace engineering and advanced physics. Once I finish my honours, I'm looking at doing a PhD. I'm not quite sure what in yet, but I've got 3 years to figure that out before.
The structure of the course is basically you have 4-hour lectures each week. You've got 1 lab and 1 tutorial each week as well. The labs and the tutorials both take place in the first year lab. You get to play with equipment like this and learn a lot about it and the math behind it as well as you do so.
We've got another higher year lab, which is also really fun. You can play with all sorts of really fun stuff.
There's so many different pieces of equipment that you would never really get to experience before. And you're also, it's not really just playing around with something, you're really learning something in the experience as well.
We get sort of exposed to a massive variety of things in physics, from quantum to classical to thermodynamics, electromagnetics. There's a whole series of things, and you can sort of investigate a lot. You can investigate more deeply into these things that you study. So if you like electromagnetics, you can go and look at more of this with the knowledge that you get from it.
I had the opportunity to experience the quantum labs here at UNSW. As we were walking around, I noticed that the facilities were really, really amazing. And I think what I really enjoyed about it was that it wasn't really this thing that was hidden behind a glass wall that no one could really interact with. It was more, you got to go inside, you got to see it, you got to experience it, and I think I really liked that as well.
It's really different to like high school, where you've got a very set curriculum, there's not much space for expanding beyond that. Here you've got a very diverse amount of topics and things to look at, and it's really exciting to go, oh, I like that one, let's go and investigate further.
I remember when I first started uni, I was all over the place, to be very honest. Took about like a month or so to find like the rhythm of first of all, how I study. I think everyone studies in a very different way, and just because your friend is learning in a particular manner doesn't mean that it will necessarily work for you. I think it's really important to find out how you study. Obviously the marks and the academics count because that's what you're here to do, you're here to learn. But your marks really don't define your uni experience at all. There's so many things to get involved in, there's so many clubs, societies.
I find a lot of uni is just finding what you want to do with the rest of your life, whether it's finding the right course or the right group of people or the right co-curricular thing. So I've recently found that I love to rock climb, for example. So joining these clubs and things, that's a lot of what uni is about. Just finding out what you want to do is really important, I think.
When you just walk in and you sit next to someone, you kind of just become friends. And what's lovely is that everyone is so nice that it's really easy to become friends with anyone. And again, when you just like walk through the building, everyone will say hi. And yeah, I guess a lot of what motivates me to come onto campus is that there's so many friendly faces around.